Hey everyone! Before we dive in, I just want to say a huge welcome and send out my warmest wishes for your health and happiness. Seriously, taking the time to learn something new is awesome, and I hope you're feeling great today. Okay, let's get into something truly fascinating. Can you actually see the core idea of evolution, natural selection, play out right on your kitchen table using something as simple as a bag of beans? The answer is a resounding yes, and it's not just a neat trick. It's a powerful way to understand one of the most fundamental forces shaping life on Earth. Forget complex labs or computer models for a minute. Today, we're going full-on hands-on with beans. Natural selection is often misunderstood. It's not random chance, and it's not about individual organisms suddenly changing to fit their environment. What it really means is that within any population of living things, whether it's birds, fish, bacteria, or yes, even our pretend bean population, there's natural variation. Some individuals are slightly taller, faster, a different color, or better at hiding than others. Now, imagine the environment throws a challenge at them. Maybe a new predator arrives, the climate gets colder, or a particular food source becomes scarce. This challenge acts like a filter. The individuals whose random, inherited variations happen to give them an advantage in facing this specific challenge are more likely to survive and successfully have offspring. Those offspring inherit those helpful variations. Over time, over many generations, the proportion of individuals in the population with that advantageous trait increases. The population adapts. That's natural selection in action. The key is that the environment selects which variations are beneficial. It's not random, but the variations themselves arise randomly. So, how do humble beans help us see this? Beans are fantastic because they come in different colors and sizes. Natural variation. Think of each bean as an individual in a prey species, like little insects or small rodents. Their different colors represent different inherited traits, just like some moths might be lighter or darker. Now, we need an environment and a selective pressure. The environment can simply be a piece of colored fabric or paper, maybe green grass, brown soil, or gray rocks. The selective pressure? That's you, playing the role of a hungry predator. Your job is to hunt the beans by picking them up as quickly as you can in a short, timed burst. Here's how you set it up. Grab a large handful of mixed dried beans. Get several different colors like white, brown, black, red, and maybe even speckled ones if you can find them. This mix represents our starting population with lots of variation. Spread them out evenly over your chosen colored background. Let's say you start with green fabric, simulating a grassy field. Now, turn away for a second, then quickly turn back and start hunting. Give yourself just 10 to 15 seconds to pick up as many beans as you can, as fast as you can. Try to simulate a predator scanning and grabbing prey. Don't think too hard, just grab the beans that catch your eye first. When time's up, count how many beans you caught and, crucially, sort them by color. You'll almost certainly find that some colors were much easier for you to spot and grab against the green background than others. Maybe the white beans stood out like sore thumbs, while the darker brown or greenish beans were harder to see and you missed more of them. This is the heart of the simulation. You, as the predator, applied a selective pressure, being easy to see. The beans that were well camouflaged, like the darker beans on dark soil or greenish beans on grass, had a higher survival rate because you, the predator, overlooked them more often. The beans that were poorly camouflaged, like white beans on green grass, were eaten much more frequently. Now, the survivors get to reproduce. Take all the beans you didn't catch, the survivors, and count them by color. To simulate reproduction and keep the population size roughly stable, add new beans of the same colors and proportions as the survivors. For example, if you had 20 dark brown survivors and only 5 white survivors, you would add many more new dark brown beans than new white beans to your population pool for the next generation. Mix them all up well and spread them out on the same green background again. Time for generation 2. Repeat the hunting process. Quick 10 to 15 second hunt. Count the captured beans and sort the survivors. What do you notice now? Because you added more beans of the colors that survived well last time, the camouflaged ones, there should be more of those well-hidden beans in the population this round. And because you, the predator, still hunt based on visibility, you'll likely catch even more of the remaining poorly camouflaged beans, like any leftover white ones, and relatively fewer of the well-camouflaged ones. Count the survivors again. The proportion of camouflaged beans, dark brown, greenish, in the survivor group should be even higher now. Repeat the process. Let the survivors reproduce by adding new beans matching their color proportions, mix, and spread for Generation 3. By Generation 3 or 4, the change is usually dramatic. The population, which started as a diverse mix, now might be overwhelmingly dominated by the bean color that best matched the background, the dark brown or greenish ones on your green grass. The poorly camouflaged color, like white, might be almost entirely gone, eaten into extinction. This shift in the population's characteristics over generations is evolution by natural selection simulated right on your table. The environment, the green background, selected for a specific trait, dark/green color, because that trait provided a survival advantage, camouflage from the predator. The trait was inherited, you added new beans matching the survivor's colors, and over time, it became far more common. The population adapted. You can explore this further. What happens if the environment changes? After a few generations on green, switch your background to brown soil or gray rocks and repeat the process. Suddenly, the previously well-camouflaged dark green beans might now stand out starkly against the brown, while lighter brown or speckled beans might now be harder to see. The selective pressure flips. You'll likely see the population shift again over generations towards the new advantageous color for the new environment. This simulates how a change in the environment, like a forest fire darkening tree bark or pollution changing lichen color, can alter which traits are favored, leading to evolutionary change. The bean simulation brilliantly captures the core mechanics. Variation exists, the environment selects, survivors reproduce passing on their traits, and the population changes over time. It shows why natural selection isn't random. The survival isn't random. It depends on the trait and the environment. But it also shows where randomness does play a role. The original variation in bean color, like mutations in real genes, is random. Which variation becomes advantageous depends entirely on the specific environmental challenge. A white bean might be doomed on green grass, but thrive on a snowy field. It's not about better in an absolute sense, but better suited to the current conditions. Think about real-world examples this mirrors. Darwin's finches on the Galapagos. Beak size and shape varied randomly. When seeds were large and hard, birds with stronger, larger beaks survived better and reproduced more, shifting the population towards larger beaks. When small seeds were abundant, smaller beaks were favored. Peppered moths during the Industrial Revolution. Light-colored moths were camouflaged on lichen-covered trees. Pollution killed the lichen and darkened the trees with soot. Suddenly, dark-colored moths, a previously rare variation, were better camouflaged. Birds ate more light moths, dark moths survived and reproduced more, and the moth population shifted from mostly light to mostly dark within decades, evolution witnessed in real time. The bean experiment also highlights crucial points. Evolution happens to populations over generations, not to individuals. That single white bean in Generation 3 didn't turn brown. It just got eaten. Only populations evolve as the mix of traits changes. It shows adaptation. The population becomes better suited to its specific environment. And it underscores the importance of heritable variation. Without different colors being passed on, no change could occur. If all beans were identical white, no matter how many times you hunted on green, the population would always be 100% white and equally easy to catch every time. Variation is the fuel for evolution. Of course, real life is more complex. Traits are often controlled by multiple genes interacting, environments change constantly, and other forces like genetic drift, random changes in small populations, or gene flow migration also play roles. Our beans have only one trait, color, reproduction is perfectly faithful. You add exact color copies, and our predator pressure is very simple. But the core principle, that the non-random survival and reproduction of individuals with certain heritable variations leads to changes in the population, is undeniably, visibly demonstrated. It turns an abstract concept into something tangible you can touch, see, and actively participate in. So, can you simulate natural selection with beans? Absolutely. It's a powerful, accessible, and genuinely fun way to grasp one of science's most profound ideas. It shows evolution isn't just a theory locked away in textbooks. It's a dynamic process driven by simple, observable forces. Next time you see a diverse group of animals or plants, remember the beans: variation, selection, inheritance, change. It's the elegant, relentless engine that has shaped the breathtaking diversity of life all around us, and you can hold its essence right in the palm of your hand. Give it a try. You might just see evolution unfold before your eyes. Thanks for watching, and remember to take care of yourselves.